service of our Federation, the Federal Executive Council. I also please would want to acknowledge members of the House of Representatives who have accompanied me here by the special request that was made to them by the leadership of the House. Thank you all very much. Thank you, everybody. My distinguished Senate President, members of the Honorable Senate, truly speaking, I got this nomination. I heard of it yesterday the same way when the Senate President announced it. My resume speaks only about what my academic qualifications as a law graduate from 1988 through to my PhD in law from the University of Jos as scholar. In between all of this, I have done a myriad of things, mostly political, because when I left the chamber in 2008, I tried to run for governor in Imo State. I became perhaps the first serving member to migrate out of the PDP into an opposition party at the time. It was novel at the time, but we forged ahead. Being one of the youngest at the time, it also seemed novel to have young people come do new political foray. So really, I've done a lot of politicking, going around the country, worked with Mr. President, trying to get him elected several times. Some of the times we lost, and lately we've won. In winning, we articulated a roadmap for Nigeria that we felt would address some of the myriad of problems we figured we've seen. Mostly, why do Nigerians not eat what they produce and tend to produce what they do not use? We've tried to forge policies around all of this. Lately, as chairman of the TETFUND, I've tried to address, in my capacity within this limited period, what I think the academia should be addressing, research methodology, and to bring the triple helix into focus so that industry and the academia will share in what it is that the country needs to go forward. Nigeria is ridiculously embarrassed. We do not produce anywhere shoe polish. Kiwi closed 12 years, 13 years ago. You do not have an integration. We asked, for instance, to look at what we can do with UBEC. If, for instance, Nasarawa State has the largest deposit of TAC, what do we do with the Ministry of Trade and Investment so that the industries, Ministry of Education can only buy under UBEC all the trucks that are produced in Nigeria? In that way, TAC in Nasarawa becomes meaningful. Those are the policies we are looking at in government. It is up to government to implement which ones they desire. There are so many initiatives. Silica. I'm sure that Governor Oji will remember the blueprint that was developed for the Aba International Glass Factory. Part of it is because in Azumini, there's a lot of silica that occurs. It's the same thing occurring in Jigawa and the streets out of Dutse. Part of what silica has done is revolutionize the template for solar power. Many people need to, first of all, have a floating glass factory in Nigeria. Nigeria exports tin. The main work for tin is to be the underlying cabbage for silica that has been melted at 2,900 degrees to be able to float. So if you don't have float glass, you'll never get to the solar panel industry. And until you have solar panels, a solar panel cell plant is less than $10 million. Total Nigeria imports of solar panels in a year exceed $897 million. Now, that integration is a policy government can rework. If the Ministry of Power, for instance, since in Nigeria today, for you to build any generating plant, once it is below 9.9999 megawatt, you are free to operate without a license. But if you have a codified system that brings everybody who has solar panels to run those out, Ministry of Power can integrate further generation of light. You have that connect between the industry and it. And these policies have been things that I've been working on taking it for a couple of years. And I think those are things that I think when we get into government, we'll take a holistic review of all the integral factors that make Nigeria work. Nigeria is a huge and beautiful country. From agriculture to solid minerals, to intellect and manpower, we have everything. Senate Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Sitting as the chair, the nominee has told us his DNA. The DNA is PDP DNA. Well guided. Well guided. And so we are very proud of this, our program. It's our sport. We have reported it by you. And from just this brief statements he has made, it's very obvious that he will be a very good ambassador of the National Assembly to the executive. And so, we have also asked those from his state in the minority. And they say they have no problems with the nomination of Emeka, our own. And so it is our pleasure to say that we in the minority haven't loaned him to all the other places he has. We have. And when he's finally betting that he can now take a bow.
The majority leader, Senate leader.
Imagine the versatility and the intelligence that this young man has displayed.
You know, to hear the minority leader talk about our candidate in a very possessive, you know, that means even though he was in about 3 of our antecedent parties, and he was only in PDP for a very short period of time. But that being the case, Mr. President, sitting in the chair, I quite find the candidate quite exciting by the brief that he has given. And with the support that the minority has gotten from the senators from Imo State, and with the quite a large delegation, you know, that I can see of our colleagues from the House of Representatives, you know, I would rather say that we invite the candidate to take a bow. And to say, in addition, Mr. President, sitting in the chair, you know, that these are the kind of, you can see
intellectual
inspiration is coming out of his heart and his head.
Nigerian name.
You know, these are the kind of innovative thinkers, you know, that we need, you know, to really drive the process of policy.
Exactly.
You know, in ministries, departments, and agencies.
Sure.
And I think these are the kind of qualities that we expect, and these are the kind of people that we encourage at every point, you know, to come into the leadership positions in this country. With that, Mr. President, you know, I will urge my colleagues to support the majority opinion that the candidate be allowed to bow, you know, and take a bow and go. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thank you very much, the Senate leader. Distinguished colleagues, I served with Honorable Emeka Nwajiuba in the House between 1999 and 2003. If I'm not mistaken, he served as Chairman House Committee on Works. Was that? Okay. Of course, he did very well. And you can see the views expressed by the two leaders in the Senate, that you have what it takes to make a very positive difference. You are going to be on that side on loan. And talking about loan, I think I will just make a remark on what the minority leader said. The party carries out smithing. So when people cross over, they receive the best reorientation, and they can be like this. We are waiting for more. So, Honorable Emeka Nwajiuba, when you are there, and we have said this to two previous nominees, Senators George Akume and Gosula Pabio, that while we want to work together with the executive arm of government, those of you that are opportune to be on that side but who are here with us before, you will have a lot of work to do to ensure that the relationship remains cordial, that we work as a team, that those that may have not had opportunity to be on the National Assembly side and don't understand the sentiments and sensibilities of members of the National Assembly are taught, or at least enlightened and advised, to also show reciprocity in ensuring that we work together. We are going to be stiff with our oversight. We are going to ensure that our committees always ensure that we have the proper implementation of whatever budgets we passed. And that is not to mean hostility, but to mean responsibility. And I'm sure that this time around, ministers who are invited by the members of committees of the National Assembly, they will come unfailingly, because we are supposed to be on the same page. With these remarks, we want to wish you well. We want to also pray for you that whatever portfolio you are given, that you are able to bring to bear this kind of passion, desire, and the heat coming out of you in show of capacity and experience and patriotism. Best of luck. And you can now let me put the question first. Well, if it is only when you put the question, otherwise we would have taken your bow immediately and leave. But is it the view of the Senate that the nominee takes a bow and leave? Mr. Nominee can take a bow.
Very humble man.
That is Emeka Nwajiuba. He's been screened. Well, I think that tradition of taking a bow and leaving for former senators is also applied to former or serving members of the House of Representatives. Emeka Nwajiuba has been granted the same opportunity to take a bow and leave like the two former senators, since he is a serving member of the House of Representatives.
This is the kind of brain that an intellectual that the president has nominated into the position of a minister. And I think Nigeria, we are in for the best of times. And we want to use this opportunity to thank the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for nominating a very sound and intellectually outstanding legislator, Right Honorable Emeka Nwajiuba, to be a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Congratulations from Right Honorable Chika Madumere, immediate past Deputy Speaker of Imo State House of Assembly.